What is up, everybody? We are back for what is officially going to be our last Drafters stream of the year with Davis Mattek at Davis Mattek on Twitter, and going to also talk about Showdown tomorrow. We got Bills versus Rams kicking off the year 3-6 Bills Mafia, and I'll give you some of the guys I like there. Davis will give us some of the guys he likes. We'll talk about some Showdown strat. But Davis, how you doing today, man?
I'm tired, Liam. I'm tired.
Dude,
I'm tired, bro.
Davis and I were talking backstage. I am really tired. I'm not going to lie. I have been 5-tabling drafts for the past couple days. I got my 150 in on DraftKings. I got my 150 in on Underdog. I have 5 left on Drafters, which we're going to do one together later here. Thank you, man. Thank you. And guys, Davis, I think he's decided he owes me an apology because Logan Thomas, he was telling me backstage, he's like, Liam,
I don't know you. I feel even more confident in the anti-Logan Thomas thesis after arguing about it in Discord earlier today. Like, I feel even better about thinking that like Tyler Conklin and Jonnu Smith are better picks than him and Trey McBride. You sold me on Trey McBride. And then I can tell
you went on that.
You unsold me by being so in on Logan Thomas. I was like, let's just take Trey McBride, dude.
Well, no, so we took McBride, but Davis is changing his tune a little bit now. But backstage, he's like, I saw that the Commanders came out and named Logan Thomas a captain, an offensive captain, alongside the quarterback Carson Wentz and Terry McLaurin. And Davis was like, I guess I'm coming around on Logan. No, he's not coming around on Logan Thomas.
I'm definitely not.
I mean, this has got to be a good sign. The dude got named a captain. I think he's playing week 1. And this might not shock you. I have a dummy lineup in right now.
Logan Thomas is 31 years old, coming off of a combination ACL, PCL, MCL. I just everyone. If he beats me, if Logan Thomas is the reason why I don't win the stupid $1 million this year, so be it.
Being serious, that was why. That's like usually my philosophy with older running backs, and like specifically why I wanted Miles Sanders over Melvin Gordon is that's how I view running backs. Like if Latavius Murray last year, everyone was getting hyped up about him. I drafted 0 because it's like, look, dude, if a 32-year-old running back is the piece I need, like good game, everyone else. Like I lose, you found the fountain of youth, I didn't. But main event, you need to start fast, so it's a little bit different.
And Melvin Gordon was like just as good as Javonte in like the advanced like success rate type stuff last year anyways.
Sure. Would it shock you to hear that I'm going to fire at that DraftKings 4K and I have like a dummy lineup in there right now, and I'll give you one guess at who my tight end is.
Trey McBride. Trey McBride is going to end up being chalky actually if Ertz doesn't play, I think.
I think Ertz is playing. He practiced today.
He did?
He did.
Okay.
Yeah, that came out earlier today. Thanks, man. Hit 1K. Also streaming this to Twitter for the first time. Don't think I'm going to do that a lot, but hey, if you're watching this on Twitter, come check out the YouTube, come click some buttons. Can we have Davis break down that Watkins route live on air? What is the Watkins route? Can someone? I'll pull it up if I can.
The Packers beat writer. I just retweeted it. One of the Packers beat writers. Let's see here. What's his name? Matt Schneidman shows Aaron Rodgers to Sammy Watkins, which could be QB1 to wide receiver 1 on Sunday against the Vikings if Allen Lazard doesn't play. He looks good, man. Which is like Sammy Watkins is always going to look good until he gets hurt, which he will.
Here, I found it. Let's share this. Let's have you break this down to the people. So Watkins,
number 11, good number for him. I mean, look at that little change of direction right there. I mean,
we don't love this. He kind of like rounded his route here. Like this is wasted steps. That's
because he knew where Rodgers wanted the ball, dude.
Is this Watson right here?
That's Jordan Love, isn't it? Yeah, that's Jordan.
No,
No, that is Watson. Yeah.
What number is Watson? Is he 9?
Christian Watson, Packers number. Christian Watson is number 9. That's Christian Watson. So that's Christian Watson playing with the backups right there.
Well, let's watch that though, because that's like one of the first routes I've seen from him, just to get the side by side.
I mean, he's at the end of his route. They're doing it. You see Jordan Love right there has already thrown it. I mean, well, that you talk about wasted motion. That ball was behind him.
Yeah, well, I mean, but he adjusted to it. Like
God, look how big he is. Look how gnarly big that guy is.
I've drafted so much Christian Watson. Thanks, Josh.
So I've been doing these drafters draft, just like crushing them the last 2 days. I think I've taken Malik Willis in everyone.
I saw you take one today, and I wanted to. Go ahead.
Well, I just want to see where I'm up to on him. 26%, not enough.
Arguably, he's a better play in the playoff formats. I was talking about this.
Not even. Arguably, he for sure is a better play in the playoff format.
No. Here's the case where he's not. Is like I told Karain, because we did the drafters, and he kind of mentioned that. I was like, yeah, but like if Ryan Tannehill gets hurt week 1, and you build a team that like
has three quarterbacks plus Malik Willis and Treylon Burks,
or like three QBs late. Like if you build a Malik team like that, like you're one of the very few teams probably live for first if like Malik is truly like smashing in fantasy. Before we jump into today's drafters, we'll try to rip that quick so we can look at Showdown after. Let's each name one position that we think is going to be on the winning team. So a quarterback that's going to be on the winning team, running back, wide receiver, tight end. So I'll let you go first. We'll kind of do this in a snake draft. Give us your quarterback that will be on the winning drafters team. And obviously you cannot like say CMC and Jefferson because you can't have them together.
Yeah. Trey Lance. Trey Lance, it seems like for sure the guy, because on drafters, it's even more extreme than DraftKings. These quarterback, like if you want Kyler Murray or Jalen Hurts, like you got to take them over like Bateman, and like sometimes even like you got to take them early.
Well, the thing about Trey Lance is his ADP never dipped. He's like still in the 70s, but there are some like I have some early drafters teams with him in the hundreds. I at quarterback will go with trying to keep the upper picks alive. I'm going to go with Marcus Mariota. I
think Pickett and Malik Willis are better late round quarterbacks, more likely to lead to winning 250K. But I buy the theory though. I buy your I think your theory is correct. I don't know if I agree with Mariota as the player.
If Mariota plays the whole season, which very questionable, and Pitts produces and London's producing, and he's like giving us that, what he did on the ground against the Chargers in that one game, like if he gives us a couple of those plays, he could easily bury the pocket passers in that portion, like the Mac Jones, the Carson Wentz's. He also could be trashed and like benched. Very easy to recognize that. All right, on to running back. Go ahead, Davis.
Ramondre is going to finish as a top 10 running back, and he's still being drafted after the top 30 running backs.
And he was real cheap early on. Like I look at my early teams, and I got some nice promo code Teslium or promo code Davis. I see someone dropping their own promo code.
How dare!
What a grifter, man! Yeah. What a grifter, Anthony. Running back. It's hard because like ETN used to go in the 6th there, but I'm gonna go with Jalen Warren, man. If Najee misses it all, like I truly believe he can be a guy catching 6-7 balls a game. Like if that's
I think he is. I mean, like I think he next year will go next like where Madison goes, like he'll just be treated as like a premium handcuff.
Yeah, I mean, and dude, we talked about it before. It is weird what they did with the oh yeah, Najee had Liz Frank for a week or two. It's like what do you
Yeah,
mean?
that was very bizarre.
That's not a thing. He's a guy I've been smashing the button on as of late, and I think that's how you should do late drafts. Is like part of the edge of late drafts is the information edge. So don't draft the late round running backs we've been drafting the whole year. The D'Ernest Johnsons, etc., Deontay Foreman's, like mix in who you're like, adjust, do different guys that you're surprised made teams or whatever. Wide receiver, go ahead, Davis.
MVS scores 8 touchdowns, and he's been after pick 100 this whole time. I mean,
yeah, he could smash, and I mean with what Pat Mahomes said today, I think that's super.
That was so funny of him. I thought
yeah.
Just to be get out ahead of it, because like I actually think he's being honest, and I do. One of my hot takes this whole time has been that the Chiefs are actually going to be better on offense than they were last year with no Tyreek, and it's because it's going to be just very hard to defensively game plan for them in a way, and it hasn't been in the past.
And it's super great for like the best ball teams where you just jam Chiefs pass catchers and throw in Mahomes. It's like you want it to be like flavor of the week, whoever.
I mean, that's how I drafted, right? I just drafted 15% of every guy on the team.
Yeah. So I've given some cheap guys, so I'm going to go with the expensive wide receiver. I'm going to go with Hollywood Brown. I just think that he has like huge spikes in his portfolio and should be real consistent to start. And it's just like, it just seems like the dream fits of fits. On to tight end. Who you got, Davis?
Albert Akui-Bunum.
It's a good pick.
I mean, it's so obvious, dude. It's written in the stars. He's scoring 11 touchdowns.
I'm going to go with Dawson Knox.
Good. We both stayed on brand. Good for us.
Yeah. I mean, Dawson Knox, 10 touchdowns seems like a lock. And
contract extension.
Do you see that? One of the, I said skate to where the puck is going, man. Like the Waller, Kittle, Kelsey, like these guys are getting old. Who's going to be the next elite tight ends? Like people don't ask themselves that question enough.
Albert Akui-Bunum, Isaiah Likely, Jonnu Smith.
Logan Thomas finds the fountain of youth, plays till 45. Max, I'm with you there, man. Boys are bleeding. My eyes are bleeding. Do you want to rip a drafters first, or do you want to do showdown?
Let's rip a drafters.
Okay, don't join it yet. We are at 8 of 12. Is your hand on
yes,
join?
Yes, I'm ready.
Right. I'm in.
Boom.
Boom. Yeah. I'm in there. All right, guys. 2 more for this drafters to fill.
Man, I would have loved to have gotten to 150 in this. What can you do?
You could.
No.
I mean, you can auto these. Like, it's so friendly to auto drafters compared to other sites.
That's true.
Like you can set positional ranks. You can upload, whatever. Guys, if you want to chase the overlay, I see there's a bunch of names that have not done drafters before in this draft with us. 4 dudes doing their first.
Promo code Davis.
Promo code Chess Liam. Or Davis, honestly, as long as my internet friends that I haven't met in person succeed, then I succeed. I pulled the 101 for my 100.
By the way, I meant to complain about this. They are like fucking me over because I have not gotten the 101 in 50 drafts.
Really? Out of all 50, what's your CMC exposure?
I can tell you. Not very high.
I'll pull it up for me too. I don't get the 101 on drafters that often.
Player exposures. I have McCaffrey 8%.
I only have 5%. So I'm a real drawing. I'm drawing real cold on the top 3 picks. I only have 5% Taylor, 8% Cup, and 5% McCaffrey. So I'm getting boned on 101s, 102s, 103s. Yeah, man. Last year, I was cold. I believe James won the 555 on DraftKings last year in best ball. I think he won the 250K best ball tournament on DK that I'm trying to win this year. But I've ran last year. I was so cold on CMC, and it's like I just didn't. I didn't have.
And that's why. And that's why you won $1 million.
Yeah, I got fortunate that I had later picks. So I went with CMC. Gonna bump that up. Feels good to get another share of him. And Davis pulled the 106 in case he uploads this to audio.
I probably won't because I just am running out of will to live, dude. I'm so tired.
Dude, I'm going to be so happy once Thursday kicks off. I'm going to have a beer, maybe smoke a J.
And I got so much shit left to do even before like DFS. It's a nightmare, dude.
Talk us through it, man. Give the people peel behind the curtain. Tell them.
I mean, you got to get registered for everything for Showdown. I got to do getting Justin Jefferson here at 6. I got to do the little Patreon show for Showdown. I got to make sure the projections are in a good place. I got to make sure all the player IDs are matching, and people in the industry know this. It's like for a large part of the offseason, the work is just fun. Like you're just having fun. You're player taking and then you get to week 1, it's like it's time to work, bro.
And that's kind of ironic because it's like you and I've noticed you in these drafter streets and etc. We've been grinding to the end. I the barbell approach sounds all nice in theory until you're like, crap, I got to get in 100 drafts in 3 days. So we're definitely burnt from that. I mean, it sounds ridiculous to be burnt out drafting fantasy football teams, but when you're 5 tabling, it just takes a lot of your fucking brain power,
Yes.
And so maybe I didn't know you did a Patreon show for Showdown, so we save that talk. Maybe we rip that tomorrow and you can just Patreon. Do you do that by yourself or what?
Yes. Yeah, I just do just like little quick 10, 12, 15-minute breakdowns of Showdown strategy for the Thursday Night Football and Monday Night Football games.
I find it interesting that the community has just decided Jefferson is clearly ahead of Jamar Chase. I don't really view it that way, and obviously it's splitting hairs when they go next to each other. But it's always Jefferson. And I've had to start taking Jefferson to just not get 0 of him. But maybe it's like the Joe Burrow injury partially and the fact that they think Jefferson has less target competition. Like they like T more than Adam Thielen. But at the same time, T's been hurt. He started practicing again. He should be fine. But I don't know, man. Jamar Chase just has shown those 50-point weeks in his portfolio, which maybe those are fluky. I don't know.
I mean, the way I would view it is that if you offered me at even money, you have to bet any of these 3 guys head to head against the other one. I would not do it, right? I would not bet Kupp even money against Chase. I would not bet Jefferson even money. I think they are all basically tied. And then I think those guys are a tier. And then I think Diggs and Adams and CD are their own tier. And then I think AJ Brown is in his own tier after that. And then I think there's a tier of 5 guys after that.
I think Debo and AJ Brown are in the same tier. And it really wouldn't shock me if that tier does better than the Diggs Adam Lamb tier.
That seems fine. Oh, I guess I'm on the clock here. One thing I've noticed is that you can get a running back you like at any point is the thing. And I'm going to disregard that and take.
You're so setting it up to take anyone. So you're just out on Aaron Jones then, huh?
Yes. Yeah. I like AJ Dillon a lot more.
Look, man, I mix in Dillon too, but to me, this could be Jones's smash year. They paid the man the contract. His target share could be huge. And I'm not just relying on those missed games with Devontae Adams splits, but I don't know. Clearly jives well with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about that no one seems to be saying is like, what if the Packers offense is just not very good, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, I hear what you're saying, but like, what does that look like? Like, what happened? Was it 3 years ago that they were bad? What happened that year? I don't really remember.
The year that Rodgers was bad, he just
was that like? Was it like?
Well, Rodgers was bad for a couple years. So Rodgers from 2017 to 2019 was 7.2 YPA, 7.4 YPA, 7 YPA with 16, 25, 26 touchdowns. And he just was playing shitty. I mean, there's just not really another way to he just was bad.
But that was also before Matt LaFleur came, right? And
that was Mike McCarthy, right?
Yeah, and so it's almost like LaFleur established that rushing offense, which then helped Rodgers have these MVP seasons.
Yeah. Michael Pittman, I'm just realizing like that guy could totally bury me because I've kind of spent all offseason not really taking him and taking DJ Moore and Mike Williams and Cortland Sutton. And even I don't have that much Sutton, but Pittman with like a 197 target season could really bury me.
I mix in Pittman. What feels bad to me is like, and this was maybe just day one, but like you could get him in the 6th round for a bit. And that was not the case with like DJ Moore. And then it's also like,
I mean, I'm not sweating the literal like 3-day scenarios.
What do you mean?
Like Michael Pittman was a 6th round pick for like 3 days, maybe.
Yeah. I know what you're saying. And I wasn't on drafters early enough to like get any of that. Pittman also, it's with Matt Ryan, it's feasible behind this better O-line that he's rejuvenated. It's also feasible that he hits his cliff.
That he's just done.
Yeah, not to mention like if Paris Campbell is healthy, I think he's always had the talent. Alec Pierce is I think this year's Colts has way more target competition for Pittman than last year's Colts. Like a mirage of T.Y. Hilton was like, and Zach Pascal, you know. I had so much Pittman last year. Like he was one of my 20 percenters that like other people were just out on him. But
I mean, I guess like when you win $1 million, you just got you were seeing the ball well last year. You know, the ball was coming in looking like a beach ball. You know, you were Aaron Judge last year.
Hey, and I'm not gonna lie, like I feel like I see the ball well again this year, but I could totally be like, because I always go Hollywood over Juju. I always do like.
Well, that seems terrible.
Well, I got a bunch of Juju when he was in the 5th, you know? So it's like, I have a big Juju bag and I believe in Juju, but I don't see how Hollywood misses. I can see cases where Juju does.
You can totally see where Hollywood misses.
How's he miss?
Rondale is the better short area option.
Come on.
And Hopkins comes back and is fully rejuvenated and is DeAndre Hopkins.
I think Hopkins coming back might help Hollywood at that point. But for Hollywood, it's like I want him to catch those slants and use his speed to house it. And I also want him to catch like the way like Jamar Chase scored against like the Chiefs, where he just like catches it short and runs away from everyone. And then also the deep balls. Yeah, I mean the hamstring, that's a good point. Plus, like, obviously he's an asshole and an idiot for all this speeding shit in like school zones. Like showing poor judgment by Hollywood.
That's how he doesn't get there, by showing poor judgment. How about that?
Yeah, no, I mean, hey man, we don't stress that at this point. Terry is another guy who could bury me. At this cost, I guess I have to. Like here's where I would take Terry behind all of these guys.
I mean, I never take Terry McLaurin at best ball, but I am massively exposed to him because I am on 2 main event teams because my co-managers all liked him more.
You see, he might not even play week 1.
Terry?
No, Deontay.
Oh yeah, he's got this shoulder injury.
Like we took Deontay in the main man, and like, look, I know Deontay's been so good, but don't we have to be a little scared about the emergence of Pickens?
I don't like Deontay Johnson, really.
You're the one who was caping for him in that main event.
Because he was a good value, and I'm a slave to drafting guys 10 spots after ADP.
He wasn't really like, I mean, also like everyone was gone at that point. It's not like we could have taken Amon-Ra, etc. We need to do our main event earlier in the future. Go back and watch that, guys, if you haven't seen our main event draft where Davis stabbed in my heart. He tried to say that he was going to buy me out of my portion because of a joke I made. Just like brutal teammanship there.
I mean, sometimes you got a bad take. Sometimes. I mean, you
come on, that was funny, man. That was a funny joke. I said basically, like, for those who don't know, CEH has the rumor of the gallbladder surgery, and so like I referenced that was like, you know, the year's 2025. People are still taking CEH because he might have had a tummy ache the past couple of years. Like, I mean, that was a legitimately funny tweet. Yeah, the fact that don't lie, like the gallbladder thing is like one of the big feathers in the cap for CEH, right? Like, what if that impacted him? Which we really have no idea and got no further reporting on that.
I mean, it's like that's the other crazy thing about it is there hasn't been anyone coming back and being like, so Clyde, how's your gallbladder? How you feeling? How do you feel about, you know, how do you feel about this season versus last season? What do you think about Isaiah Pacheco? What do you think about Ronald Jones? Like nothing. Yeah.
Also, like, how is there not a single beat reporter who's like, oh yeah, he looked 160 pounds for, you know, a couple of days there. Like, he plays for the Chiefs. He's CEH. Like, what the hell?
It's one of those stories that is like broken my brain a little bit.
I could tell from our main event. I mean, I'm happy where we got him. Like, and I don't want to have zero exposure because I do agree with you. There are cases where he is, I guess, like Leonard Fournette is the closest comp of what he could be. Just like the guy for the Chiefs, scores a bunch of rushing touchdowns. I don't really view it that way, just because I think they're like, they brought in Ronald Jones. Isaiah Pacheco is now a thing, maybe, or like a total zero and like a nothing.
Might be a total zero. That's kind of what I think.
I know that's how you're leaning. And then McKinnon, like, I think McKinnon is one of the worst. Like, if McKinnon got cut, it's way more wheels up for CEH. And I know it's like, you know, McKinnon's old.
I mean, you're Mr. What, we don't care about old running backs, like, and Mr. Contingent value too. That's like one of your big things is like, I don't care if a guy's a shitty pick if he has a low advance rate but a high ceiling. I mean,
well, for drafters, I mean, in the main event, I care. For underdog, I guess. Yeah, Max.
This is the worst having a pick right here. I'm taking Damien Pierce.
Max says I was shocked. I have a big Pierce bag on drafters. I guess he must have been like the flavor of the week when I had COVID, and I was just he must have been. Well, he must have been in like the 150s or something, because I know I don't have as much on underdog and DK high stakes.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, once that game kicks off on Thursday and there's no more drafts to do and it's only DFS, it's gonna feel good.
I mean, it's gonna feel great.
And like, dude, the dopamine when we get to check these teams and see which ones are in first. Imagine if you're like top of the leaderboard on drafters after a couple of weeks. That's fun.
I don't even want to check.
What? Oh no. I check. I definitely check.
Well, why? Like, you can't do anything
because it's fun. You know, it's fun to check in on it. I think I'm just gonna buy talent here, questionable talent, and go with Dobbins and Michael Thomas.
I mean, the Dobbins thing is like totally like it only plays out one of two ways, where like Dobbins is the biggest roster clogger in fantasy and does nothing and is getting like 8 touches a week and is limping off and coming back on. or with Gus Edwards out and, Mike Davis and Justice Hill and Kenyon, like he totally smashes, right? And has the 2019 Mark Ingram season.
Something I thought of yesterday was Dobbins is totally our guy, man. This is a dude who's fighting people on Twitter. This is a guy in the Twitter streets caring what people say about him, going at it with Ian Rappaport. Like, I want to be on Team Dobbins. Like, I want to be on the players who are unhinged and care what the internet says about them and are telling analysts they're idiots. That's my guy right there. And dude, whatever. Maybe he's not out there week 1, but competition is Mike Davis. The Ravens situation is so bizarre because you think with Dobbins maybe being questionable and Gus Edwards being questionable, people will be racing to the podium to get whatever other running backs they have on the roster. But the other running backs are Kenyon Drake and Mike Davis, who are old and don't even get drafted in most of these drafts. So it's a very bizarre situation where, if they had a young name, if Jalen Warren was on the Ravens instead
if Tony Pollard was on the Ravens,
anything like that, or no, but I'm talking if a young rookie that people were a little excited about was on the Ravens, that player would be a 10th round pick right now, maybe even higher.
If it was anyone but a guy who we hate.
Damien Pierce goes ahead of Breece Hall sometimes now. That's just wrong. I don't know what happened with Breece Hall. I think he just didn't wow in a preseason game. I don't know, man. I think he's good. I still take him.
Yeah. I don't really like Breece Hall.
Dude, he's the running back I should have said, because you don't draw up a better rushing schedule than Breece Hall's facing.
Well, his team is just so bad.
For weeks 15, 16, 17, I mean. Yeah, but how good do you have to be to run the ball on the Lions, the Jaguars, and the Seahawks?
I mean, you got to be pretty competent because your team is so bad.
I wouldn't say the Seahawks were competent when Rashad Penny was doing that.
Russell Wilson was his quarterback.
Yeah, I guess. I think this guy's got a good team next to you, trying to scoop those wide receivers. Dude, so is Allen Lazard going to get IR'd or something?
No, they said he was running routes off to the side at practice today.
They said he got stepped on, which is always a scary injury for.
It would be considering how lucky I've run this preseason with some of my takes. It would be really funny if going in having 0. Although someone screenshotted me earlier, grinding these drafters with us, and I got auto drafted a Lazard team.
I'm happy you said that because I have ran real hot in terms of dudes who either disappointed or got injured in years past, and I X'd them out of my portfolio. I got the only big injury in the past couple of years to a guy I'm heavy exposed to. So really wanted Brady there to go with Mike Evans. Going to have to adjust though. Might just double up on running back. Okay, no, we'll go Knox. He's the guy I said. And it's so hard choosing between these guys. Sometimes I do Harris, sometimes I do Hunt, sometimes I do Patterson, sometimes I do Singletary, sometimes I do Cook. We're doing Cook this time. We gave you James Cook yesterday. I really don't see it. I think Singletary, for the 9th year in a row, no one's going to want Singletary, and he's going to grind his way to 211 PPR points, and it's not going to be that spectacular, and he's not going to break off any long runs or anything, but he's just solid and Devin Singletary is Buffalo Bills CH. Well, he really is. Let me say this, though. First of all, I do have a big bag on Singletary, too. I'm pretty even on Cook and Singletary. For the main event, which is a managed league, I think Cook is unquestionably the better play because I never want to be choosing to be playing a running back from the Buffalo Bills. And the difference between Singletary and CEH is Josh Allen is eating the rushing way more than Patrick Mahomes, except for games that really matter where Mahomes does run. So, like, I don't want to be betting against the Bills' passing attack and being like, this is a Singletary week, you know, like, whereas Cook's going to be a real easy decision. It's either he is so good they can't keep him off the field, or he is just passing down guy / like inactive almost. For best ball, I could see like I alternate Singletary and Cook, but that's why I like Cook for managed versus Singletary.
I mean, well, definitely, I don't buy that because I think you can start him right. Like Singletary, you could be like, I'm starting him week 1, and like I know with the FFPC you have the look ahead or whatever, or the take a peek, but just like any given week, Singletary is going to project for like 11.5 points.
Yeah, but dude, what if James Cook catches like 5 balls and gets like 10 carries week 1? Like you're going to see it with Cook right away where you're like, he could score like a 60-yard touchdown, which Singletary literally does not have the ability to do. His longest run in the NFL is probably 40 yards, where like he is a shifty guy. He breaks tackles.
He's shifty, very evasive. He's like short area, but not.
He's
not
very
bad.
evasive. He's very evasive. And I will say that the Bills' rushing attack depends on guards that can pull, like athletic guards. And they moved out Darrell Williams, who used to be a tackle, and they brought in Roger Saffold. So that's going to help Cook and Singletary actually get on the edge when they pull the guard and actually maybe get longer runs this year. But again, James Cook is explosive, man. And like, whatever, call it Madden mind, call it fantasy football mind. But if you could put a dude...
This is actually, I very rarely find myself on the non-hot take side of the like the veteran guy is gonna, like, I'm always the guy falling in love with the new young guy. Like Chase Claypool is going to the bench for George Pickens and Robert Woods is dead because of Treylon Burks. Like, I'm always the young guy, you know. And this is one spot where I'm like, I really don't see it. I just think they just made it to the, you know, the playoffs with Singletary. Singletary played 100% of the snaps in that game. They clearly trust him.
But like, that was because Moss was injured. Like that was not widely talked about, but Moss was injured last year and ineffective. So they had no choice. It was like Singletary or Matt Breida, right? And they were like, it's not Matt Breida.
So they were playing Matt Breida a little bit during the year, which was so weird.
Yeah, they're saving Singletary a little bit. But, I mean, again, like, look, and I've been a Singletary guy every year. Like, I had a big Singletary bag last year, one of my most drafted players. And that's, like, the fact that I had Singletary and Ramondre as, like, 20% exposure and underdog is why I had, like, all these good teams, too. Like, I almost won the puppy because I had those two guys on a team. But,
wow, again, imagine not winning the puppy, dude.
I got 6th in it.
Did you beat David Kitchen?
Well, I don't know. Was he in there? I don't scroll. I don't scroll below 6. That was my 4 quarterback team. Was CMC was on it, and it got 6 in the puppy. But dude, I don't know. Like, Cook is a bit of a scary clip. He could be a total disappointment. I don't push back on that at all. But the upside is, I mean, and like, we can't ignore what Buffalo, I mean, trying to decide.
The McKissick thing is actually the biggest signal.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the fact the Bills this whole offseason have been like, we need to get better yard after the catch. Like, they've been all about, they were like one of the lowest yak teams in the NFL. Now that's because they were trotting out Emmanuel Sanders and Cole Beasley, but and like Knox was like their only yak guy because Diggs was always like double covered. But Cook is yards after catch, and like the 1 or 2 preseason touches he got, he looked good, man. He picked up yards in those games. So we'll see what they they do with him.
Yeah. Are you worried that Cole Beasley will re-sign with this team at any point? Aren't you worried?
0% with the Bills. I could see him signing with like the Packers.
The Packers, yeah.
Like there is absolutely zero. Like I would wager $200,000 he does not re-sign with the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's like come out and like trash the team and stuff too. Like he's like
speaking of our bags, by the way, Emmanuel Sanders officially retired today. There was a little bit of that, right?
You have no pulse on the Bills, man. Let me steer you clear on the Bills. Emmanuel Sanders was never coming back to this team. That was very unusual. Like the Bills tried to court him for years in a row. Like before he went to the Saints, like Brandon Beane was obsessed with Emmanuel Sanders. And, last year, I really do think they played him deep because they wanted to save Davis for the playoffs. Because the year before that, when they lost to the Chiefs, Cole Beasley had like a broken leg. John Brown was like injured. So like Stephon Diggs had like an oblique thing. Like everyone was injured. And I think that like scared them. And so last year, they were like, oh, we got to save people.
That's true. Yeah, I guess I didn't really think about that.
That's my take on that.
I guess I don't have a pulse on the Bills. I'll come to you with all my inside information. It does feel insane to me. They're going into the season with just Tommy Sweeney as their backup tight end.
Quentin Morris is going to see I think Quentin Morris is the 2 actually. And I mean, I think that knocks.
Who is that?
He's like an H-back who he can kind of do what Reggie Gilliam did, where he's like kind of H-back, kind of tight end, but he's a move guy. And it's just an indictment on OJ Howard. It's not even like
it's a big indictment on OJ Howard.
Yeah, like OJ Howard signing with the Texans is not a problem for Brevin Jordan, people. Do not be like Lovie Smith, even like they asked him about OJ Howard, and I think he said today, like, yeah, he's a guy who's been in the NFL.
Right.
Like that's not a good endorsement right there.
How mad are you going to be when I take Malik Willis on this team?
Dude, I've been mixing in Malik a lot in some drafts. I mean, dude, he's just like that run he did against, I don't even know who they were playing. How do you keep him off the field, And I have some regrets. Like I did the pairing of Mariota and Ritter a lot more than the pairing of Tannehill and Willis. I do have some of that too. But like I think the Tannehill-Willis condom route is a higher ceiling combo probably if Willis sees the field.
Yeah. Yeah. It would not surprise me if Willis is the guy you need in BBM3.
It's very hard for any quarterback to be the piece you need ever.
That's true. That's extremely true.
They don't separate. But
you know what I was thinking? I had this like shower thought earlier, which is like, I basically drafted Malik Willis on 20% of my teams last year. His name was Trey Lance. He started 2 games,
Yeah.
So it's like how bad could it be for me to take a shit ton of Malik Willis when like I didn't win last year? I had actually my first ever year I didn't make money at best ball, but it's like whatever, all the money's in first anyways. So I just having that thought made me be like, every draft I do the rest of the way, I should just take Malik Willis because what's the difference?
Well, the difference is like obviously the capital invested, and we thought the writing was on the wall with
Lance. Yeah.
Yeah. Sharp room, Mostert goes. I guess no, I'm not going to do that.
I mean, these rooms are so sharp, dude. It's like underdog, but worse.
It is sharp, but the ADP is slow to update, so you can catch and like, you and I have been doing drafts where like I take the guys I like. So if someone agrees with us, they're in these rooms with us for these streams, so they're going to try to get those guys. I'm not saying that people agree with every take of ours. But the ADP update's slow. So like you can get like Mostert goes in like usually the 150s on drafters, where he goes in like the 130s on DK, which is a far more liquid market.
Yeah, I mean that's true. And I guess also I'm just like taking, because little secret of the trade here. It's all referral dollars that I'm drafting with. So like I have to draft these teams anyway, or it's like the money evaporates. So I'm just trying to get them in. So like I'm kind of like hot taking, right? Like taking Malik Willis in every drafter, taking a bunch of Trey McBride, or taking Ramondre ahead of ADP. Like I just want to have fun.
Is that how it works? If you don't gamble the referral money, you don't get to.
Well, it works the same way a bonus does. Like you have to roll through it.
Yeah. But you could. There's like in-season content and stuff.
It functions the same as the other best ball sites. Like I could go and play, and I've done their like golf contests and stuff before, which are.
Drafters is trying to do the same thing as Underdog, which is I think best ball's customer acquisition, and long term, all these sites want to be gambling sites, and us as gamblers should want all these sites to thrive.
And we want them competing. That's the biggest thing, is because the idea that like, oh my God, the Underdog product is so amazing and the rake is 10% and yada. If there's no competition, if DK shutters their best ball product, if there's no drafters, rake Best Ball Mania 4 is 17% and you're going to play because you're addicted.
Yeah, like we love our friends at Underdog, but that is the reality of
100%. I literally love those guys. I like Zach and everyone at Drafters too. I hope everyone makes money. I love best ball, but you gotta know what you're doing as a consumer.
We want them all to survive because and it is the golden era of like promo codes and signups. Like that's not going to be a forever thing. With like just the sites needing to compete for customers. But yeah, so that feels good to support a bit of the smaller site.
Oh, I auto-picked a third quarterback. I wasn't paying attention.
Well, you got that old stack between Shark and
Shark is not old. Shark is 25. Oh, you mean old like they used to be teammates?
Yeah. You got that flop lag stack. No, not old age. Old.
I'm actually so if you want to get Galaxy Brain, you should be a Galaxy Brain stack in best ball is Shark and Jameson Williams, where it's the pass the torch stack, where Shark is the deep guy for 8 weeks, and if that role is good, Shark will be having a good season, and then Jameson Williams comes in and takes over that role from him and smashes down the end of the way.
Man, like Jameson, like it really wouldn't shock me if they redshirt him this whole year.
I really don't think he's going to play at all. Yeah,
it wouldn't shock me if he comes in and like cucks Amon-Ra even. Like if he starts.
Oh, I would be shocked.
You don't think he could get some of the short yardage stuff? Just like
I think Amon-Ra St. Brown is a great player, and I don't think he will be cut by anybody.
I mean, look, dude, he won me $1 million. I clearly believe Amon-Ra is a good player, and have a big bag on him. Just in case you forgot.
Liam, I want to know the statute of limitations of reminding people you won $1 million.
I don't think I victory lapped that hard, honestly.
No. I want this on the record. If I ever win dude, I don't care if I win the super flex puppy. Like I don't give it the Pomeranian. I'm gonna be like, have you ever won a best ball tournament, bro? Like I will be all over.
I mean, honestly, I think people should be calling me Liam the Nuts Murphy. Like the nuts for best ball. Little play on words there. Like I could have gone way harder at it. Now I was a small profile account trying to grow, so it's interesting because I don't know if you've heard about this at all, but in the chess world, there's a big cheating allegation that just happened. Like this is a scandal.
Against Magnus Carlsen, right?
So the guy's name is Hans Niemann, and like Magnus Carlsen either did one or two things. He either did get cheated against, and this is very likely because it's a very big ego sport.
Just got beat.
He got beat and threw a tantrum and just perceived that he could never lose to this guy and did. And the truth about Hans Niemann is this dude is very cocky, and people were very quick to jump on him because they don't like him because he's cocky, right? But just because you're cocky and not like the status quo. And not to mention, like, look, I don't think people realize how much time you have to spend on chess to get good at it. Like, this guy gave a very passionate interview yesterday, and all of it's true where like he doesn't really quote unquote have a life like you and I can imagine, where he's not it's literally all just chess. Man, this is a tough fucking range. I need a
just take Malik Willis, dude. This team is begging for Malik Willis.
I'm gonna go white combo. But so yeah, he's very cocky. People don't like him because of that, but that doesn't mean that he cheated. Now maybe he did cheat. Like, there's some suspicious shit out there. But
how do you even cheat at chess against someone who's watching
like
you?
This is like, dude, the theories were crazy. Like, people were like, he swallowed the microphone in his mouth, like, and that, like, and this is crazy, but apparently you can like stick a vibrator up your ass even, and like it can be communicated moves like this. Like, I'm not joking. This is like a theory people were throwing out. Basically, it's and there's been scandals where people go to the bathroom, they have a cell phone in the bathroom. They could have like a context lens that's like reading the board. Different things can happen.
What I'm saying is that so people are just thinking he got coaching.
No, like mid game, like someone is communicating with him using the like.
But how is that cheating? It still doesn't make you. It still doesn't make.
No.
Oh, like with a solver or something?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Someone is feeding you the engine move.
Yes, got it. Okay, I get it.
And to be clear, like, even if he is cheating, he's still very good at chess. So, like, it doesn't take a lot of communication. Like, it could just be in one or two complicated positions. It suggests the move. And he's good enough to, like,
to place that information and see pick up what they're laying down.
Exactly.
Okay.
Like, he doesn't need
what I was confused about is so just consulting a computer basically.
Yes, like a computer.
Yeah. Okay.
And
that makes sense. Yeah.
And you don't need to be that good at chess to help someone cheat at it. Like, the person helping you could be like rated 1,000, which is like a whatever number. Like, they're good enough to tell you like knight to d5, you know?
Yes.
I don't know if he cheated. I do know, again, he's very cocky. Like, when I was a chess coach, he was still in high school, and I went to grade nationals, which is held down in Disneyland. And before he went, he said he did the Michael Jordan, where he's like, I'm going to win all my chess games. I'm going to win all my blitz games. And I'm going to win the Bug House tournament, which is like a team tournament.
Yeah.
So basically said he was going to go like 21-0 or whatever. And he did it. Like, it was like, which put a smile on my face, because it's like, who is this character? I never pay attention to bye weeks when we do these drafts together, by the way, because I'm multitasking, talking. How do you feel about your team?
Well, I wish I didn't take Trevor Lawrence, because I wanted to take Malik Willis, but it's fine. I mean, these are all players I like. No taking Gronk before he
dude, I have so many Gronks.
Retired 30 minutes later.
I looked at my old who is more insufferable? Hikaru. And look, man, like, no shots. I used to work for chess.com. It's not why I'm saying this, but Hikaru does not come off as a very genuine person to me in his streams. And if you don't know chess, you wouldn't know that if you don't know the chess world. Not trying to take shots at him. Look, and people can improve, but he's burned a lot of bridges with a lot of people. And again, when you get really, really good at chess, you sacrifice things in your life. But anyway,
kind of like DFS. You gotta sacrifice yourself to get better at it.
Yeah, kind of like
what's your plan for DFS? Are you building your own models, or are you just playing it by ear?
So I'm not even subscribed to any. I'm looking at your team. How do I go back to my team? Let me make my picks right here, and then I'll tell you that. All right, let's do this combo for Davis, just to make sure that he doesn't snag me.
I don't know if I could have pushed it to 4 quarterbacks.
That is fair. Probably could have got that guy through. Anyways, for DFS, I'm planning to subscribe to Establish the Run if week 1 goes bad. But week 1, we're just going to fire from the hip. We're going to play the guys in our best ball portfolio. You know, like, who cares?
Literally one of the worst ideas I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, no, I'm not here to disagree with that idea, Davis. We're gonna IKB players. I mean, look, I can guess who's going to be high owned and low owned. I don't need to buy a service to know that Michael Pittman's going to be high owned. And
I was actually surprised to see how high his projected ownership was.
Of course, dude. Like, that was so, like, it's pretty obvious to me. And like, I know the pulse of the casuals from doing these DK drafts. Like, I know casual people don't like Kyler Murray and, like, you know, whatever. I don't really think it's that essential for week 1, but I don't know, man. My plan is to fire at the tournaments like I always do. And I mean, I'm playing that 4K Millie Maker week 1. If that goes bad, like,
are you sad? Are you sad that you can't use the Bills?
Well, I mean, I could do something equivalent for Thursday night, but I'm not going to do that because Showdown, I think, is, I don't know.
Showdown is a computer game. If you're not playing that computationally, like, I don't think you can win at all.
I had Brick on. We actually talked about that, and so Taysom Hill just went here at the quarterback. I've been seeing that. Like, Taysom Hill at quarterback versus Taysom Hill at tight end is a different play, people.
Imagine if Taysom Hill is the guy you need on drafters. Imagine how good my underdog portfolio is going to be. If Taysom is the guy you need on DraftKings or drafters, I will be writing myself a $2 million loan.
What, dude? If you need Taysom on underdog. Ooh, report just came out. Harbaugh. Dobbins' knee is, quote unquote, ascending quickly.
He's not playing week 1. Or if he does, he's getting like 8 touches.
Dude, he could be the guy that, like, smashes.
Yeah, I mean, if all this stuff about his ACL is overblown and he was fully healthy this whole offseason, he would have been a 3rd round pick.
On PPR sites, what do you think he would be, though?
Same.
Really? Because do you remember last year?
Because people have always loved Dobbins. I mean, Dobbins was an early pick last year before he got hurt, and now Gus Edwards is on the PUP list. Like, he and Kenyon Drake and Mike Davis are his competition.
Do you remember last year the buzz was like the Ravens are going to try to target their running backs more, and then both of them got hurt, so we never really saw that. But dude, I don't know who the hell. It gets so dry at the end of drafters drafts, especially when
you've already taken Malik Willis.
Well, and Jalen Warren went, like, that's who I should have taken instead of Willis. I need another quarterback. I can't just rock with 2 or with this 3-2 combo.
Yeah, you got to take Pickett.
Are you? I've strictly been taking Pickett and not Trubisky, but I'm a little worried about.
No, stop, dude. Stop.
No reason. I need a wide receiver, man.
Aren't you worried? Khalil Shakir is who I always take when I need a wide receiver.
Yeah, he's a guy I take a lot of. I'm gonna do Cedric with me having. I need another dude too. We're gonna do Geno.
George Kittle groin injury.
Good for my Debo bag. Bad for my Kittle bag.
Good for our FFPC main event team with Kyle.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, I think Debo could be. I was thinking this, like, Debo could be the guy who everyone thinks they're so smart for fading.
It's Tyreek. Everyone felt smart about fading Tyreek the first 3 years of his career.
Yeah, like the quote unquote sharp people are like, oh, dude, Debo was so efficient. Like, he ran so hot. It's like, not gonna happen again.
So Tyreek, as a rookie, did not start playing, really until, let's see, he didn't get above 50% of the snaps until week 10 He ripped off a bunch of great games from then. No one wanted to take him. Hold on, let me take a running back here real quick. We'll take a little Dearness Johnson. So 2016. Then the next year, his second year, he rips off 75 for 183, 7 touchdowns, has a bunch of crazy games, like 165-yard receiving games, has 7 for 87 in the playoffs. No one wants to take him. 2018, 1,500 yards, 12 touchdowns. Then finally they bend the knee. Finally, you get the knee bend after 3 years of him looking insane.
Guys, like the stream for roulette. Dude, Debo, like, I don't know. If Jimmy G was still there, Debo's a first-round pick probably, right? Like, it's strictly because of Trey Lance that.
No. I think the nerds would have kept Debo as a firm mid to late second-round pick, regardless.
He's like one of the only guys who could be wide receiver 1 that goes as late as he does.
Yes, correct.
And I am very aware that Ayuk could emerge as more of a fit for Lance. I think Ayuk is a good pick. Like, I don't strictly do Debo. I do a lot of pieces on the Niners, but I'm not fading Debo at all. I thought he was the best offensive weapon in the NFL last year.
Tyreek was not a first-round pick until 2019. That's crazy.
Well, and what was the year where, was 2019 the year that he started low because of the suspension concern?
Yes. Which was the last year they did underdog on draft, and people were saying you can't even enter the big tournament on draft anymore because someone already has 18th round Tyreek Hill or whatever, or 15th round Duke Johnson, and neither Tyreek or Duke Johnson were on the winning team in the end.
2v2, man. Like, it's just like we're playing a tournament with 55,000 people. Malik is most likely not doing something this year, but if he does do something,
I set the line in Pete's Discord. I said 1.5 starts.
What if he has a goal line role from day one?
Not going to be enough points to be mattering to your lineup.
No, but a goal line role that grows. Like, if he's the guy who, like,
I firmly do not believe that the Tennessee Titans are the type of team to do that.
Probably not, but it's out there. It's a possibility. A lot of the guys I like are gone. So
I cannot believe George Kittle is already hurt.
Here's how you get max leverage on those Taylor teams. You take one of the only shares of Deion Jackson in the tournament.
Max leverage. We just watched Chess Liam win $250,000.
So I finished with the Tua, Tannehill, Malik, Geno at quarterback. Questionable group. CMC, Dobbins, Cook, McKinnon, White, Deion Jackson, who could literally not see the field this year. Tyreek Hill, Mike Evans, Terry McLaurin, Mike Thomas, Russell Gage, Dotson, Osborne, and Cedric Wilson. And then Kittle and Knox, which if Kittle is not playing, doesn't feel great. Davis, read out your squad for the people.
I already closed the tab. You got to read it for me.
Can you not see it on the screen there?
Oh, okay. I did the elite quarterback. I did Patrick Mahomes, Justin Fields, accidental misclick of Trevor Lawrence, Leonard Fournette. My bags are very packed. Damien Pierce, who my bags are not packed on, so I want to get a little bit of late exposure there. Ramondre, bags are packed. Jamal Williams, bags are packed. Jeff Wilson, bags are packed. Dearness Johnson, bags are packed. Justin Jefferson, Michael Pittman, Juju, Sky to pair with Mahomes. Traylon was trying to set up Malik Willis. Couldn't get it done. David Bell, who I'm getting really into, thinking of like if he's the Jarvis Landry when Deshaun Watson comes back. Khalil Shakir, who I think is going to play on Thursday night. Actually, I think he's going to be out there. And then Cole Kmet, Evan Ingram, and Jonnu, who I always take.
Yeah, I mix in Bell and Shakir quite a bit. Jonnu, I've not been doing it, man. I just like other tight ends, but I see the reasons. Let's look at my first drafters team just for funsies, and then let's do some showdown before we get out of here if you have time.
Yes.
So
I do.
Here was my first drafters team on the platform. And let's just view the draft so that we can see how the ADPs have changed. So I pulled the one hole, and I went with Cup, Allen, AJ Brown, Kittle, Davis. So Davis used to go in the 5th.
Yeah.
Mitchell, Schultz.
Oh, look at that! Look at the Schultz team.
Kirk.
Value on Kirk and Tony.
Yeah. Cook and Gordon in the 120s. Lawrence. Pierce at 145. So Marvin Jones. Irv Smith used to be cheap. Haskins and Pirine are not names I click too much anymore. And McKinnon.
Pirine feels like such a Liam name. Like I can't believe you are not all over him.
No, Chris Evans is the guy I was big on, but I didn't expect big underdog, aka Josh Norris, to be such a Chris Evans guy. Because he was a guy I clicked a lot last year. Like he was like one of the dudes who like I was clicking. But I mean, and look, McKenzie round 17, McKinnon round 20.
Yeah.
If Haskins and Pirine are a thing, that's kind of what this team needs. It needs like Mitchell to be a guy. It needs.
Imagine the first team you drafted was the winner, and you just spent the rest of your summer drafting teams losing.
What if I play? Oh, and Bynford was in here too. Expensive Galladay and Jacoby Myers, expensive Jones, expensive Spiller.
Goes both ways, right?
It does go. Dude,
you live by the sword, you die by the sword.
I promise you, a lot of my early teams are dead. I'm like, damn, I do not have the running back firepower. I don't know. This team could win, but it really needs like Mitchell, Cook, Gordon, Pierce. I guess like just those 4 dudes maybe, but that seems thin.
Someone just joined from my stream, or from the stream. I just got a referral.
Hey, good for you, man. I'm a little insulted that they chose you, but
actually, I don't think that's what it was. I think that someone, because you don't get the referral money until they do a draft. So I think it was someone that I already referred just at a draft. But I just saw I had more money in my account.
Okay, here. I'm pulling up Showdown. So, Davis, before we jump into the Showdown, I think it's important, man, that we tell the story of how this game's going to go on Thursday night. So,
well,
you go first. You go first, and then I'll go.
It depends on
just whatever.
I want to give quarters. I want to give people good advice. Totally depends on the type of contest, but I think the Rams.
We're playing. This is the $1 million, $10 Thursday we're building.
Oh, then just try to create a team that's not duped. Create a team that makes no sense. Play Akers and Henderson together.
I'm asking you to tell the people a story of how the game is going to go, not specific players. Like
the Los Angeles Rams win and cover, and
okay.
2-2
I'll go first, and then you pick, and then you follow the you follow me. So the Bills come out. It's Thursday Night Football. They are the overwhelming Super Bowl favorite. Have you seen that they're down to plus 325 to win the Super Bowl? That is outrageously terrible odds.
The Bills or the Rams?
The Bills are plus 325 to win the Super Bowl.
What are the Chiefs? I booked the Ravens at 20.
The Bills are 3-1 right now, effectively. They were 6-1, and I refuse to bet it at 6-1 because if they drop a game against the Rams, if they drop an early game, then you can get them at 10-1, 12-1. They're not going to have Tre'Davious White out there. So here's how I see the game going. The Bills are trotting out 2 unproven corners, right? So I think Allen Robinson and Kupp, they're going to get theirs a little bit, right? The Rams are coming out, but Von Miller, what's this? He is just eating those Stafford on those sacks. So
sure.
I got Bills over Rams 30-22. Weird score. Anyways, I'm too low energy to tell a good story there.
Rams win 27-21. Singletary and Cook both play Darrell Henderson runs for 80 yards and a touchdown.
Hold on, I'm fucking this up.
I think D Hendo is probably the best combination of ceiling and ownership projection.
You got any ownerships on these Thursday night players?
I can go check.
So, guys, if you've not looked at Showdown, some obvious plays to me. And when I did this with Brian, they were also projected to be low owned. McKenzie is like the most obvious play.
But so the thing you have to remember about that is that most people like to use the entire salary, and McKenzie doesn't fit in that many lineups that use the entire salary, so he's going to be less owned than you think.
Well, what it was an indication to me that the fact that like McKenzie is 2,400 and low owned is that we're in such a bubble that we're taking McKenzie in like the 10th round, 11th round, but the overwhelming casual crowd does not understand what McKenzie could be.
Yeah, I do not have ownership for this slate.
That's cool. We don't need to. I would say here, let's talk about first off the low end darts. Like we always see some showdowns where like a 200 salary player is rostered on the winning team. I don't think it's that type of slate personally.
Well, the Rams are like the worst team in the NFL. They don't do this. The Rams do not have $200 guys that play like 6 snaps a game.
Well, they might though if Van Jefferson's out. It could be Tutu Atwell. It could be Ben Skowronek.
I just think Skowronek will play Van Jefferson's position.
What's his salary? But for the Bills, Quentin Morris could see the field. Shakir could see the field, and is probably a kick returner or punt returner. A lot of these dudes were cut. Like Jacob Harris is on the practice squad now. But the like Isaiah McKenzie is a definite play. Hey, I was thinking about this. If OJ Howard got cut by the Bills and picked up by the Rams, do you think we'd be able to play him for the slate or no?
No.
Even though he's still in the game, they want to just list him as a Ram.
I don't think so.
Kendall Blanton got traded. Who is the backup tight end?
Pinkney and Bryson Hopkins.
It's Hopkins, right?
I don't know. Hopkins has been on the team forever. Pinkney's on the practice squad.
So
it's Bryson Hopkins.
Moss could definitely have a goal line.
Moss is probably the best guy. Yeah.
As like but I don't know. Maybe casuals are in on Moss and out on James Cook. You know, like
James Cook. Oh, dude, this is actually a sick showdown slate. I'm actually looking forward to playing this now after looking at salaries.
Yeah, look at these things. And Allen Robinson is projected to be one of the highest owned, according to Brian. He's only 6,200. He's cheaper than Dawson Knox.
I will just play none of him in captain probably.
Yeah, but again, the Bills are not playing Tre'Davious White. They play zone usually. So it's like this could be like Robinson and Kupp could each have 10 catches or something. Absurd. Bills.
Well, that would be the easier way for the Rams to play, right? Because the Bills' defensive line is supposed to be really good, right? So you just do lots of quick passes.
Yeah, I think just targeting the young secondary is how I would play if I'm the Rams. The question is though, like if their D line is if Ed Oliver's collapsing the pocket and Von Miller is causing destruction, that might be tough. I don't know, Davis. How about you start us off with your favorite play, either at captain or flex? Do you want to give us a captain here?
Gabe Davis, captain.
No,
Yeah,
no question. All right,
it literally like don't even have to think about it.
Do you want to build and first off, can we have you full screen here and beg the people not to dupe us before we launch this in here?
Please don't dupe us, bro. Don't dupe us in the $10 millionaire contest.
Don't do it, guys. Come on
now. Don't dupe us, bro.
All right. So with Gabe, do you want to set a limit of either like we're building a 5-1 or 2-4 or anything like that? Or do you just kind of build and see?
I just kind of, I've not gotten deep into these combos yet, so I don't even know, but I would definitely go Matt Stafford here and not not Josh Allen, right? Because we're going for a because that Gabe Davis Josh Allen combo, everyone's going to do that. Like Gabe Davis captain lineups. Let's guess 15%, right? How many? So 15% of teams have Gabe Davis in captain. What percentage of those teams also locked in Josh Allen? Like 75% of those. So then you're talking about with 2 out of 6 spots taken up, 8% of the contest can be duplicated with you.
How about max salary you want to spend for this team? How much?
No more than 49, like $200 left over is the minimum.
I think even that's thin. Like I was thinking, like with this slate, I really feel like it's a slate. If you're, I haven't
gotten that deep into it. Van Jefferson just got announced out.
Oh wow! So who is the third there? Is it Tutu?
Skronik.
He
just played in the Super Bowl, dude. They're not like they're fine with him.
But with Tutu, McVay said that they kept him out of a preseason game because he's that important to the team.
Let's play. I mean, dude, you do like, and he should be on returns too. He could always bank a return.
You want to do Tutu?
Yeah, of course I do.
But here's what I want to say about the slate is with all of these guys so cheap, I feel like it's a slate where you might be thinking about leaving like $5K salary even.
I think you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So you want to do Cup to Tutu? Or no, sorry.
Cup Stafford Tutu.
Okay.
I would basically lock Cooper Kupp in any slate he plays, to be honest.
Yeah, to begin the year, it's like why not, right? So what about this? We have a Stafford throws for like 400 with Tutu, Kupp, and Robinson. Gabe Davis on the other side, and then
Diggs.
We can't afford him.
Oh, I'm not playing Allen Robinson here.
This is like the Stafford to like in all his pass catchers.
Play Higbee then.
Okay, you want to do Higbee instead?
Yes.
And Diggs?
Yes.
This seems good. And then like this is a situation. Sometimes when I build showdowns, I flower it a little bit, kind of like in roulette. Like first start with Diggs, and also put one in with Knox, and also put one in with Robinson, and also
I don't really build by hand. So it's a little different to me. I would go Diggs here. Yeah, though. That's a beautiful team. This team will be duped a couple times, but pretty good.
Well, it's going to be duped a shitload with people watching this video, but
no.
Guys, don't dupe us here. Davis, you got to split on this $1 million showdown team. Do not balance shame, you guys. But this is the winning team. Wow, they got the image in for Tutu. That's respect, man. All right. Well, do you want?
I'm literally about to run 150 Tutu Atwell teams. I think I'm just gonna lock him in.
All right. So you're that convinced Tutu over Skronik over the little bit that we just talked about?
Well, I'm just convinced that Tutu, like Skronik, is a win sprinter, right? He'll max out at like 3 targets. I don't think he can do any better than that. But if they're serious about playing Atwell instead of Van Jefferson, he could actually score points, and he will be 1% captain, 12%, 13% flex or whatever.
I assume this is an ownership play by you, right? Not playing A-Rob?
6,200 A-Rob with no Van Jefferson. I'm going to guess he is the most owned 6K player we will. He will be top 5%, top 5 most 6K. Okay, there's a better way to say this. Through 18 weeks of the season, for 18 weeks of the season, of all the players that cost above the backup quarterback, so 6,000 to 7,000, A-Rob this week against the Bills will be a top 5 most owned player of all those players, of all those ranges on Thursday Night Football, Monday Night Football, Sunday Night Football.
Yeah, assuming like a running back doesn't get injured, like ruled out, and like the backup is min cash or something. I think another way you can play A-Rob lineups is every A-Rob lineup you play, you have to leave at least 1K salary or more on the table.
Or don't play him with Stafford.
Yeah,
or play him with James Cook or this guy Quentin, whatever his name is.
Quentin Moore, yeah.
Yes. And again, like, the way the real big brains are playing this is they're not even messing with any of that. They're doing sims and removing dupes and stuff. Like their process is so much far beyond what I could even begin to imagine. So I can only kind of cheat my way there, really.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. And if anyone's confused about why you would not want to be duplicated, why you would care about that, it's because that really hurts your bottom. Like the rare circumstances where you win this contest, you do not want to be splitting $1 million with 500
I mean, it's
people.
the same thing. It's the same thing as checking the math of like trying to play for first place in the best ball tournaments. Is like if you're playing for 37th, your EV is so negative. Whereas playing for first place, it just dramatically changes.
Yeah,
your expected value.
Didn't you have a FanDuel milli split and a showdown or something? Can you
a 2-game NBA split? A 2-game NBA slate, I split like 480 ways or whatever, but I did win the Millionaire Maker, so never forget it.
What was there any leverage guy that could have gotten someone like a solo ship on that? Like, did you bother?
It was down to the last possession. Paul George made a 3-pointer. It was the day the NBA came back to the bubble.
Okay.
And I was not even close to winning until the last possession, and I don't even remember who the Clippers point guard was then. But the guy threw the assist to Paul George. He makes a 3. Game is over, and those 4.5 points of the assist plus the 3-pointer brought this super duped team into first place.
And what's a bummer is if you split on DK, at least you get that Tournament of Champions ticket to play for.
That's
right?
true.
Like, you get a free roll to play for that.
I didn't even think about that actually.
And most people don't probably even enter that because that requires them to know that that's going on. I'm sure, like if you split with 500 people, I guarantee you, like 50 are probably not entering a lineup into the next whatever that contest is. Anyways, man, we'll end the show here. Not sure what my in-season content will look like. I'm sure I'll have people from around the industry on to look at DFS week 1, or maybe I won't. Davis, tell the people what you got coming down the pipe.
5 pods a week on the Sports Creative Fantasy Football Podcast. Monday, Gilcast. Tuesday, Waiver Wire Show. Wednesday is the DFS preview. Thursday, I guess we don't have anything. And then Fridays are the betting preview show with Rich Rebar. We might do a little something for Showdown or something on Thursday. Haven't gotten there.
Thursday is when Davis and I review our 500 best ball teams. Can
you imagine?
Can you imagine the grind of that? And then actually we have a team that maybe is live late. Did you see the math that Herzig posted about the chance of getting a team to the finals?
Yeah, 14% if you max enter. That seems about right.
Feels better than I
had the same reaction. I thought in my head it would be like 1%, but 14% is like, you tell me 14%, I'm like, 14% is only a couple coin flips away from a coin flip, if you think about it.
Yeah, and if you max on DK, well, and that's if it's just randomness. That's not accounting if you're good at the game and or if other people are entering dead teams.
Yes.
And if you max on DK2, it brings you up to around like 26%, 30%, something like that. Like that you'll get either a DK team or an underdog team to the finals. I was crunching that math last year when I had teams like, okay, I have X amount of teams in the playoffs. What's the chance I get a team to the finals? Blah, blah, blah. Guys, like this, subscribe. You can follow Davis on Twitter at Davis Mattek. You can follow me on Twitter at Chesliam. Davis, give your final best ball thought of the offseason to the people.
I really wish that I spent the last 4 months drafting more Malik Willis than I did.
Man, I promise you have 10x the field Malik Willis, so you are packed there. For me, guys, when it's week 7 at DFS and you and me have lost thousands of dollars, don't worry, because you could win the best ball tournament. It happened to me. It could happen to you. Hopefully it happens to me again, but if not me, one of you or Davis. Good luck tomorrow. Go Bills. Like the video, subscribe. Follow us on Twitter. Peace out.